There I was, after all those years, at the threshold of a nightmarish place. I never thought I'd have the courage to return. While I had been toying with the idea for a while, that day I had woken up with a peculiar urge to return to Hanwell Mental Institute. Of course, there was a strong reason to come here, but the circumstances that led me back to the Institute were oddly dreamlike, as if I wasn't in control of my own actions. Why was I doing this? I needed to know what this place had done to me, the meaning behind those bizarre visions. I'd rather face the direful truth than live in blissful oblivion.
Well, hey guys, it's John. Welcome to my playthrough of Asylum. This is a game that I first saw the trailer for in 2011, which is the year I started my YouTube channel. It was going to come out supposedly sometime in the next couple years after that. There was a Kickstarter, I believe in 2013. And I remember seeing posts from the developer at the time, a studio named Nucleosis, the studio behind the game Scratches. They said that it was going to probably be released around Halloween of like that year, I believe I saw at one point. Fast forward 12 years, the game never came out. I thought it was never going to happen. I thought it was completely dead. But yeah, now it's out as of March 2025. So here we are in April 2025. I'm playing about a month after it came out. A surprise release as far as I could tell. I didn't know that it was going to come out, and I just kind of found out randomly. So yeah, here we are. Okay, I've gone to the settings and I've adjusted things to my liking. I've turned on subtitles. They were actually off by default. I've disabled camera effects. I've turned off film noise, activated VSync, put in a frame rate limit, and that's about it. Everything else is the same as it was. So yeah, that's where we are with that. Now, as for the storyline of Asylum, I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing really with this game. I think it's I just go in the car and leave. Let's do that. Again, this is from the, team behind Scratches, so it makes sense that it's sort of like that. As I grabbed my notepad, I was struck by a sense of confidence I hadn't expected. I felt ready to tackle the mysteries inside that looming structure. Now see, in Scratches you start by getting some stuff from your car, so I figured I would do that here as well. I gotta say, this is a beautiful game so far for the style, point and click horror adventure. It looks and feels really great. Let's go ahead and open our journal though. Enter the Institute. Great. I trusted I would find the answers I so desperately needed inside the Hanwell Mental Institute. Interestingly, the Institute is named Hanwell. I don't think this has any relation to the Hanwell indie horror games. Welcome to Hanwell, Council of Hanwell. I think it's just a coincidence. Let's take a look over here. Oh, we can actually go off to the side here. What a strange rock formation. Beautiful, yet somehow disquieting. We can zoom with middle mouse button. Press spacebar to toggle hotspots. Oh, so it shows we can look at. That's very useful for this style of game. A gloomy forest bordered the grounds of the Institute, creating a pronounced sense of isolation. Okay. Let's go back. Oh. There was a sort of unnatural calm surrounding the area. Wasn't helping to boost my confidence at all. The Institute was every bit as loathsome as I remembered. Alright, well, let's go ahead and go inside. I can't believe this game is here. You know, over 12 years in the making. Oh my gosh. Sorry, that just took me back. This is exactly how it was in the trailer 14 years ago. Wow. Hello there.
Welcome to the Hanwell Mental Institute. What can I do for you?
I wasn't expecting to find anyone here.
Oh? And why is that?
Well, this is gonna sound a bit strange, but I thought this building was abandoned.
It is.
As you can see, that's no longer the case. My name is Julia, and I'm the receptionist for the Institute. Why are you here?
Says here I need to enter the Institute. Julia.
So you were the receptionist here?
Yes, this is my first night. The Institute is operating with minimal staff until renovations are complete.
Do you cover a position other than receptionist? I feel this place needs a lot of staff.
Not at the moment. I'm just waiting on people to show up at the door and helping them whenever needed.
Sounds like you're doing a good job.
Perhaps. There's not much I can do at the moment.
I see how the position could be a bit tedious. At least until there's more people arriving.
Okay, Julia. This is your first night? And you're already so confident? You thought this place was abandoned? How stupid. Why would you think that? This is your first night? You're dead or something. I'm calling it now.
This is an awkward situation. I was hoping to take a look around the Institute.
But you thought it was abandoned.
Indeed, and that's why I thought nobody would mind.
We certainly do mind. This is private property, you know. Hanwell Mental Institute was never abandoned, just closed to the public until recently. And still, deserted or not, it's not like just anyone can walk inside. You do realize that.
This caught me completely by surprise. I'm not sure what to say.
Well, you can start by explaining yourself. Why did you come here?
Okay. This interviewing system is very interesting. Building? Not abandoned?
The last thing I expected was to find people here tonight. I assumed the Institute had shut down indefinitely.
We have covered this
Not indefinitely.
topic.
It's true that it ceased to operate for a number of years, but we're in the process of reopening it now. While not in the most pristine of conditions, which should be evident if you look around, the structure is still robust and usable, but there's a lot of work to do.
I must say its general state is indeed rough. But I can see how with some cleanup, intensive cleanup, you could get this place up and running again.
Also, other mental hospitals in the region are growing overcrowded, which has prompted state authorities to reuse this place.
Why are other hospitals so overcrowded?
I can't say. Maybe it's the times we're living in. Don't you feel somewhat overwhelmed by everything that's going on in the world? I often do. Guess some people are less prepared to cope with all that and, you know, need help.
We're getting really personal.
I see your point.
Still, that doesn't mean I can allow a complete stranger in.
Uh-huh. It says journal updated behind my camera. Wow, Julia and I are having a real heart-to-heart already. Her first night on the job, and we're talking about the state of the world. All right. Complete stranger. Process of reopening. We'll just go down the list.
So, let me get this straight. The whole Institute is being reopened?
That's what I said. Patients from smaller hospitals who are not getting proper attention are being relocated here, and extensive renovations are scheduled to begin tomorrow.
It all seems rather empty, though.
Tonight, it's just me, security, Dr. Miller, and a few patients in the building.
Okay. You know, I can't help but notice, Bud, that we're kind of covering the same topics repeatedly. All right, complete stranger. I was opening to explore the asylum. I thought it was abandoned. What if he's going to say that again?
This isn't my first time here, you know.
Oh, you used to work here?
Well, I'm very much acquainted with this institute.
You should have said so in the first place. I still don't understand why you came all the way up here in the evening.
There's something from those old days that I need to find, and quite urgently. It's a health issue.
You sound serious.
Very much so.
And you're looking for...
Documents mostly, maybe some notes. There's a matter of great importance that I need to understand.
Well, it's a highly unusual situation, but it's not like you can cause much trouble. And if you do, I'll have the security guard have a not-so-friendly talk with you.
Whoa.
Understood.
Okay.
Let's talk rules then. First, you're fully responsible for your own safety.
I accept all the risks.
You must also leave before dawn. The construction workers are arriving early and will turn the place upside down. And please, steer clear of the upper floors. There's dangerous equipment up there. Do we have an agreement?
Yes, we do. Thank you so much, Julia. This means a lot.
Very well. Go ahead. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Me too. Something tells me this is my last chance before the Institute as I knew it ceases to be.
Well, that's
It's
exactly
going to
what
be a whole
she's saying.
different place in the morning, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's about to be renovated, so. We can talk about my condition. Or we can talk about Dr. Miller. Who's Dr. Miller?
So who's Dr. Miller?
He has been appointed as the new head director of the Institute, and he's overseeing the whole reopening process.
I thought Hanwell was the director. Isn't that the name of the Institute?
That was a long time ago, and I'm not sure about that history either. I do recall that Dr. Miller and Dr. Hanwell were acquainted with each other. And I don't think Dr. Miller is planning to change the name of the Institute either, out of respect for Dr. Hanwell.
Okay. My condition.
You know, I didn't have the best of experiences at the Hanwell Mental Institute.
I'm sorry to hear that. As I told you, I'm not familiar with those days. My understanding is that things were rough. But I can assure that all current staff members are new and everyone is eager to get this place up and running again.
Julia, your enthusiasm is commendable, considering the state of this place.
I like to think positive.
I have not gathered that so far, but okay. Whatever you say. Remembering my past.
My memories of this place are hazier than I thought.
It's likely its current state of disarray. I also find it disconcerting at times. The darkness and stillness of the night doesn't help either.
That's very true.
The darkness and stillness of the night. Julia.
That's all for now.
Poetry.
I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, so we can interview her again. I think if it's all the same to you guys, I think I'm going to leave the circles up. They're not very intrusive. Like, you can't even see the one over to the right until you shift over a little bit. So there's kind of like a fog of war to it. It doesn't just show, you know, big blaring circles the whole time. And when you're in motion, like, it doesn't show up until you stop. So I'm just going to leave them on so I don't miss something. Because a lot of times, I mean, if you've watched my Scratches playthrough, there's a lot of pixel hunting involved sometimes in these point-and-click adventure games. So it helps to know what you can click on, what you can interact with, and what you can't. Interesting. So this is a design choice left over from Scratches of you can examine all the classic paintings, but there's not really much to do with them. No one cared enough to have emptied the trash cans yet. So judgmental. I had no idea how to turn them on. Otherwise, I certainly have tried. What, the heater? Okay. Julia's desk was sufficiently tidy. It at least when compared with its surroundings. Alright, right. Okay, well, let's see. So how can I move back this way? I will say, one thing I'm noticing right now is that there is no music, which is a shame. I don't think that there's... the settings... Music is max, but there is no music right now. Which is a shame, because I think Scratch is one of the... What there... Okay, there is music. One of the high points of Scratches was the soundtrack, so... I'm gonna go upstairs, I'm gonna do it! Just kidding. Look at this guy, he's like, what are you looking at? I'm looking at my foot. My foot kinda hurts. Yeah, you'd turn on the heater if you could. Let's go over here. Oh. Interesting. Visitors would sit here to speak with their relatives or loved ones. Such a desolate sight now was heartbreaking. What was that? What I assumed was an alarm button didn't work. It might have been used to alert security of any troublesome patients during visits. Oh, some broken glasses. Okay. There's like a little lens flare when you rotate it. Cool. Okay, I'm not sure. So that's not collectible, that's just something we can look at. All things considered, rearranging the tables and cleaning up a bit wouldn't take too much time. Right. Okay. Here we go. You know, if they just like clean this place up a bit, it'd be way better. I begin to remember the layout of the building. This was the administrative area. Okay. Do I have a map? Because that would be sick. A thick veil of grime covered the window, and it was a shame. I could have used a glimpse of the outside world. You were just out there! Water closet. Out of service for repairs. I wasn't planning to go in anyway. The men's room, evidently. What intrigued me was that the women's room was nowhere in the vicinity. Well, okay. Weren't you here? Wouldn't you know that already? The toilet didn't feel very private in its current state. See, because the door is off. Just a regular trash can, which unsurprisingly hadn't been emptied. Oh my god, we got Health Inspector over here. What's his name? Actually, do we know his name? It was impossible to see my reflection with all the dirt. My favorite adventure game trope is the main character that's like, this place is filthy. The lights didn't work here. They really could use some sweeping and mopping in this place. Okay. Below it? What does that say? The blackboard seemed to have been used and overused through countless years. Why did you come? Below it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it says there. Psychotherapy in society. Whoa. Press tab to read the text more clearly. I mean, it's pretty clear, but thank you. Yeah, so they centered the text here, but unfortunately it cuts off as a result. Kind of a weird choice. Wow. Perception. Can I look at all of these books? At least just the table of contents. Okay. Horizons of Anthropology. We'll just check all the books in case there's a hidden key of some kind. Well, they start off on page 5 with stress generation. Just jumping right in. Look at all these issues. Mania, hypomania, stigma, loss. Interesting. And that's on Sense and Nonsense in Psychology. The Doctor and the Soul. Wow. Nice. They're all 3 chapters. Or 3 acts or 3 parts. Cool. Man, 70 whole pages on exercising the destabilizing past. They really went on with that. Can you imagine reading a 70-page chapter? That's a lot of pages for one chapter. That's not even for a chapter. That's like for a section of a chapter. And they're all like that. Well, sometimes things like classifying psychopathology, that only takes 17 pages. Oh my god, Introduction to Psychopathology is only 9. Sometimes it just doesn't take that many. 9-page chapter, 70-page chapter, it's all the same, really. I gotta say here, Chapter 2, Perception, from that to Chapter 3, Memory, Intelligence, and States of Mind, that's 100 pages. They talked for 100 pages about perception. We got a whole book on it over here, Perception. I'll just read that. We're not really getting... This one's a long one, over 400 pages. Okay, well, as fun as it was to look through all of those books, we didn't get anything out of it, really. They like psychology here. I could still perceive the smell of intensely strong cigarettes. Ugh. It's like ashes. Relaxing classic music. You mean classical music? Some important items are collected in your record book. Press escape in any time to read them. Prelude for guitar, toccata in D minor. Variations. Dusk on a G flat. Okay, wait. Oh, wait. Wait, it says date of admission, April 13th, 2025. That's today. Well, when I'm recording this video. Diagnosis, schizophrenia. Okay, I guess is that me? Or is it tab that I was supposed to click? For my records? No. Please be more mindful of the vinyl records. Their covers are scattered all over this section. And they're getting damaged. We can't let patients play with them. Although I've seen members of the staff being careless with them as well. It's a shame and a disgrace to all the hard work we nurses do here to keep this place running smoothly. Alice. So they're collectible then. Yes, his record book updated behind my camera. That's fine. I'm not going to move my camera just so you can see record book updated. Hanwell Mental Institute. Beginnings. For decades, the Hanwell Mental Institute housed patients of many ages with varying degrees of mental illness. Feeble-minded men and women. That's very condescending language. Not fit for living independently in society were admitted and received excellent nursing care. With a hygienic environment, magnificent facilities, and well-qualified personnel, the Institute strived to attend to all their needs. The 4-story building was constructed atop a cliff. It's 4 stories, my god. Amidst a leafy and calm forest. Who knew that the forest was leafy? With the goal of housing over 300 patients. That's a strange goal to have. This particular location ensured maximum security. Access was severely restricted, and any patient attempting to leave would have to descend a rocky and winding path down to the base of a high mountain, thwarting any attempt to escape the facilities. Every day, patients could spend their time in the vast courtyard, library, or game room and take part in other leisure activities. The most capable ones were periodically selected to help with daily duties, such as laundry, cooking, administrative tasks, and such. Groups were assembled and assigned to a therapist according to the cognitive capabilities of their members, engaging each individual in diverse approaches to therapy. These included standard rehabilitation, hydrotherapy, group therapy, and, for the more difficult cases, other, more stringent methods. So, I'm not saying anything when I say this, okay? But this feels like it was written by ChatGPT. I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying there's like so many adjectives. I've just noticed ChatGPT tends to write like that, or any kind of, language model. It might be a case of, because this is I believe an Argentinian developer, Senscape, so it might be a case of the translation, or maybe the writing style is supposed to be incredibly stiff, but just stuff like a leafy forest. Okay. Again, not an accusation, just kind of a funny observation. That's it. Don't get all in a huff about it, okay? Unfortunately, these are things you have to think about these days. Well, at least they had fire extinguishers. That is, provided they were operational. Right. Well, they're really proud of their degrees. They line the hallways. All those distinguished doctors seem to have graduated from the same university. Oh, Miskatonic University? I didn't even notice that. That's a Lovecraft universe school. Archives. Okay. I guess we'll step in. Oh, is that a map? Oh, speaker wiring diagram. That's way less exciting than map. The wiring diagrams seem to indicate the location of speakers across this section of the first floor. Okay, wait, are we like right here? Wait. Yeah, because it's telling me where the speakers are. We're like right here right now. Here's where Julia was. We went in here. We went around, yeah. Why do I need to know where the speakers are? Why are they only here and not over here at all? I guess we'll find out. Right-click to show an item you are carrying. Well, I'm not carrying anything, apparently. There was nothing worth mentioning. Huh. Seemed to be stuck. Okay, stuck drawer. Could be Kickstarter names here. I'm not really sure. I'm sorry, your name is Stew Blood Coffee Sizer. Yeah, these might be Kickstarter things. Figured the letter opener would come in handy. Yeah, if there are any letters that we need opened. Right click to open your journal. Okay. Fairly elegant letter opener. Sharp too. Cool. The safe may have stored valuable stuff once, but all that remained was meaningless. Wow. You're just like the Scratch's main character. Useless. Pointless. Uninteresting. Well, there's Julia. Let's see, let's go this way. Clock. An old but elegant grandfather clock, which unfortunately was no longer working. There was a series of uninteresting magazines on the table. Dated, too. These are so uninteresting. Oh, hey, a letter opener! I'll put that in my pocket. Opening of West Infirmary, 1878. Now, where are you? Nothing to say about this? Is that Dr. Hanwell? Longer life for people past 40. That's crazy to think about. Reasons for admission. Oh my gosh. Snuff eating for 2 years. What does that mean? Snuff eating. Well, you know, if you snuff eat for 1.9 years, then sorry, but that's not a good enough reason for admission. You can only eat snuff for 2 years until you're admitted. Tobacco and masturbation. Why put those two things together? That's seemingly very random. So you have to be a tobacco user and masturbate. Wait, masturbation for 30 years? What is this? Is this based on like anything real? You have to ask, because the 19th century mid-19th century opinions on medicine, liking mist. Dude, why are they such mist haters? There was a book in Scratches about like that was like very condescending about mist. This is the second time I'm reading that. Do they hate mist? Mist is great. Deranged masturbation. Why so much stuff about? It's a very weird list that you can examine there. Very strange. Okay. Why do they hate mist? Maybe they like mist and they're being self-deprecating. I don't know. Oh. Psychology of Love. What a terrible cover. Look at that. You think someone who wants to learn about the psychology of love is gonna like that cover? Oh, it's awful. Yeah, are you sure you don't want to open it? Hey, look. Looks like you can open it. Nope. Okay. I guess we can't open it. All right. That's okay. Can you go through? Dr. Hawthorne. I'll go all the way down first. The vast and lonely ocean extended as far as the eye could see. I felt like I was at the end of the world. Look, you can see the water there. Very cool. Janitor. It was too dark in the closet to see anything. Oh, I turned on the light. It works. Right click to show an item you're carrying. The garbage bag caught my interest as it was rather new compared to the rest. It seemed to be filled with papers. Well, would you like to use the letter opener? Unbelievable. Doctor and Soul. Interspirituality. Why am I... My record book has been updated. Okay, why do I need that? Oh. Note in the janitor closet. It said, Doctor and Soul and Interspirituality. Okay. Judging by the smell, it had been a while since anyone had emptied that trash. You're very focused on the unemptied trash. There were probably multiple bug species crawling on that blanket. Yeah, probably. This place, it's an abandoned building. Why so fascinated? Okay, let's see. Officer Hawthorne, Officer Ebersbacher. Wait, what? So we emptied the trash from Hawthorne and Ebersbacher, but nowhere else. Well then, our character will be delighted to visit those rooms and see that the trash has indeed been emptied. There was nothing of importance in them. Okay, well then, maybe I don't need to examine them. Several liquids that were of no use to me, some of them dangerous even. Classical gold. Okay, so this is another collectible. Right? I had the impression that if it works, the radio would only play pre-war transmissions. The likely broken down radio wouldn't even serve as a collector's item. As I thought, it was broken down and useless. Wait, I'm trying to get you to say that again. If the radio worked, it would only play pre-war transmissions, but wouldn't it play whatever's currently broadcasting? Maybe I'm misunderstanding what they meant by that. Okay. Oh boy. This trash has not been emptied. Okay. Oh, back in here. Ah, okay. Back in the hallway, Dr. Hawthorne. The office of someone named Hawthorne. It's locked. We can go to Dr. Ebersbacher. You'll be relieved to know the trash has been taken out. The dimly lit office belonged to Dr. Ann Ebersbacher, a stern and cold psychologist, whom I remembered from my stay at the Institute. I was surprised to find the room unlocked. Yeah, and the lamp is on. Okay. Sophisticated choice for this room. What could it have meant to the owner? Sophisticated? Those drawers seem to be jammed. I think maybe you're admiring it for other qualities. The statue was fairly heavy and somewhat tacky. Wow. You know, this place has been abandoned for decades. G through N. Sorry, is that not... Oh. The drawer was shut tight. I wonder if there would be anything of interest inside. So there's a 3-digit code we need for that. Interesting. Ebersbacher's library was respectable and well preserved. I'm glad it passed your strict approval. The cassette player owned by Dr. Ebersbacher probably meant she may have used it to record her thoughts. Okay, well, let's play it. There wasn't much I could do with this device unless I had a cassette with me. Oh, there's not a cassette in there? I guess not. Eject? Perhaps there would be a cassette somewhere in this office. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll look around for one. I was wondering what happened to these people. Okay. Anything you want to enlighten us about, or no? When I first arrived at the Institute, I wasn't sure what to expect. Though it's well located and its facilities are modern and effective, the horse and buggy mentality of the staff and approach to medicine are appalling. It's been a few weeks already since I got here, and I know for certain that I won't get along with Ellis. I can appreciate Dr. Hanwell's perspective and his need to take a firm hand in everyday activities at the Institute. I know too well what it means to deal with these sick, mindless individuals. But Ellis is an altogether different matter. His attitude is borderline brutish and dates back to a bygone era of barbaric practices. I can't understand how this character has attained so much rank and power at the Institute. Wish I could understand what Hanwell saw in him. In spite of the general adverse environment, I'm anxious to start testing my theories with a number of patients. Fortunately, the staff seems to respect my background and extensive studies. They almost seem intimidated by them. Even Ellis treats me differently, with a kind of silent doubt, as if he didn't know what to expect, and I've seen how he treats women in the Institute. Guess I must be some sort of puzzle to him. So I look forward to keeping my notes and observations in this journal. I'll be working with a particularly diverse group, with some of its members exhibiting extreme and promising pathologies. Promising? Rebecca is by far the most intriguing subject. This woman has been a schizophrenic from a young age, exhibiting a rambling and erratic personality. No family, no social life to speak of. She used to live in the suburbs, where she'd roam aimlessly in the streets. Your typical town loony. These people shouldn't be working in a mental health institute. Last year she was, oh wow, viciously raped by 2 thugs, then left heavily beaten and bruised in a damp alley. Wow, okay. It's a miracle she's still alive. It's a miracle anyone cared enough to save her. Sadly, she became pregnant after the attack, which sent her psyche into an even darker downward spiral. Her mind is in a nadir now. She thinks she's carrying the spawn of the devil and has repeatedly attempted to perform an abortion. What is going on? A fringe case by any measure, the sort of patient that would have received unabashed shock treatment in other institutes, and the perfect subject to test newer, less invasive approaches to mind healing. Our first group therapy session. Oh, you're just going to move on from that? Okay. We'll begin tomorrow with about half a dozen patients, or so I've been told. I'm going to focus on one particular group for now, and I believe Hanwell himself will be present for the first sessions. Nothing of the sort has been attempted in this place, and I'm excited to take the first steps into a brighter, new age for psychology. Yes, you're very forward-thinking, being excited about the, as you said, town loony. Oh, the trash has been taken out. My hopes of finding a meaningful clue in the trash bin were crushed when I saw it was empty. You are just never happy, are you? You go to all these rooms and you're like, they didn't even take the trash out. And then you get to one where it's actually been taken out and you're like, my hopes were crushed. I was hoping to find a clue in the trash. So which is it? What caught my attention was that the bin was too clean, as if it had been emptied fairly recently. I wondered who had emptied this bin and whether there had been something important in it. Yeah, well, we went to the janitor's closet and we found that, so. Yeah, we actually know the answers to that question already. Oh, I almost didn't see that. So, okay, so self-harm scratches of some kind? Is that like a clue for something, or? Oh, I don't know. You wondered if there was a cassette in this room. Yes. Ebersbacher had a degree in clinical psychology. Well, I would hope so. If they work here, I would hope that they have a degree. Huh. Okay, I mean, I guess we'll come back when we have the code or whatever. We're just kind of exploring for now. Okay, well, let's see. There's Julia, and this leads to the back. Oh wait, there's a map right here. Oh, thank you. Oh wow, we can. This was the sprawling yard of the Institute. Right. The vast courtyard. Laundry. A laundry. Kitchen. I hope they weren't planning on cooking any food here. The large cafeteria, right, that's where the speakers are. But the speakers aren't in the library. I've always enjoyed reading a good book. There was the game room. Don't forget the shed. There's also passage. What is a passage? Okay. So we've been through here. Wait. Oh, no, we've just been to the meeting room, the archives. Okay, we haven't been. So this goes to the female infirmary. This goes to the male infirmary. High risk male patient cells. Ooh. The low risk male wing. Okay. Okay, so I'm kind of getting a feel of where everything is. Okay. And this is the low risk female wing. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Wait, what does it say on the lower right? October. The size of the building had always felt intimidating, but looking at this map made me realize just how monstrously vast it was. So 1 centimeter is 2 meters. Interesting. October 20th, and then it's blurred out. Interesting. Well, wait. Is there a way? Nope. They won't let us see the date. Interesting. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick save, and we'll take a quick break. How does that sound? All right, cool. We saved. See you in a second. All right, I'm back, and we're gonna explore the back half of the asylum. See what we can find. Library and female infirmary. On this side is the cafeteria and male infirmary. All right. Finally getting some music in the background too. I had to reload it. Frustratingly, this door wouldn't open. Shame. I could have used some fresh air. Let's go to the male infirmary first because I'm a dude. And I'm feeling infirmed. All right. Yeah, nothing really in the hallway, right? Like I'm trying to look. Okay. So can we go this way? The doors seem to be stuck. Try as I might, I couldn't get it open. Okay. Looking through the windows. So that's the cafeteria. I guess we can go to the male infirmary. The door was shut tight. Look, you can see a blinking light in there. And a bloody handprint. No hospital would be complete without a good old-fashioned corkboard. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we'll just go back. Keep clicking until we go to the female ward / library. Oh, wait a second, this looks... Okay, yeah, it's totally blocked off here. That's a shame. Let's see if we can open this. The doors seem to be latched from the other side. Okay, so we're kind of stuck here. Nothing. This switch was useless. So harsh with the descriptions. Okay, well, let's take a look here. So we're unable to go anywhere back there. We can't go to the male or female infirmary. And the doors to the courtyard, cafeteria, and library are all locked. So maybe now's the time when we go back and we talk to, what's her name? Julia? I forgot. Let's ask her about that note.
Sorry to bother you again, Julia.
I found a note in the trash. I was scrounging around the trash and I found this tiny piece of paper. What do you think?
You know, I found the most strange note in the trash.
Are you picking up random trash?
That's what I'm saying.
No. I just happened to see the paper in a bag.
That you cut open.
I'll bite. What's on the paper?
It looks like notes for chapters in a book. Very abbreviated.
Well, there are many books in the meeting room.
You're right. I might go and take another look.
Were there books? I mean, I was feeling like totally out of it last session, honestly, so I'll go back and look, yeah.
What do you know about the Kirkbride architecture?
Phew, that's a loaded topic. It's the structure of this very same building.
Right.
Yes, I assumed as much.
That's why we're asking.
But I know it became dated and impractical, and a big part of the upcoming renovations beginning tomorrow is to turn this old design into a more flexible layout.
Sounds ambitious.
I hear they're going to tear the place apart.
That's what you hear, huh? Well, you work here, so I would hope that you would hear something like that. Unlock Eberspacher's drawer.
I'm sure there's something of great importance inside a drawer, but unfortunately it's
A
locked.
drawer?
Should you be opening that drawer?
It's just a random drawer.
It's probably locked for a reason.
You know, that's a great point.
Why is he saying it like that?
Julia, do you know of a therapist named Anne Baker?
No, I'm sorry. She used to work here?
I believe so, yes.
In that case, I've no idea. As far as I understand, they're only hiring new people.
Okay. Yeah, I think... What do you think of my letter opener?
Look, I found this lying around.
That looks dangerous.
It's just a letter opener.
You've heard of tetanus, right? It can kill you.
Wait, isn't that like a very old disease?
Somewhat. It has been declining since the 40s, but not everyone has been vaccinated. Are you?
I can't remember.
Well, make sure you don't cut yourself with that thing.
Well, usually letter openers are blunt. Usually they have
See
a
you later,
rounded
Julia.
tip. They have a rounded tip, so they're actually... It'd be very hard, I think, to cut yourself on that. Oh, oops. Okay, let's go back and look at the books, I guess. In the meeting room. Wait. Is that the right way to go? Let me look. Oh, the meeting room is over here. Oh, right. The books. The books. I forgot the books. Are over here. Got it. All right, let's take a look, huh? Wait, how did I look at the note? I forget. It like gave me... It told me that one time. Can I look at it? Doctor and Soul, Inner Spirituality. Doctor and Soul, Inner Spirituality. So 177? So 177 is a code, maybe? Okay. Yeah, let's keep going. Or, I guess. I wish you could click on the knob. Alright, my jaw is like bothering me. I have TMJ, so TMJ problems. Let's see. Can I put it in right here? I can't go the other way. There we go. We got it. Cool. Now what? A cassette tape. We'll take that. This is journal updated. How do I get to the journal? Okay. Escape. No. Wait. That's not what I want. Controls. Wait, is there a controls screen? There's a settings screen, but there's no controls listed. Kind of annoying. New load, save, interviews, achievements, credits. We can go back to when we talked to Julia. There's a whole transcript. I don't know how to get to the journal. J? Okay, let's just do this. I guess since the controls aren't listed anywhere, I will experiment. Tab. No. I. J. N. J for journal, N for notebook. These are, you know. Q. I'm pressing all the letters. which don't seem to do anything, actually. Okay, middle mouse button. Middle mouse button is to zoom. Right mouse button brings this up, which is great, but then, I mean, I can look at these. I guess that's what it means by journal, right? I wondered what interesting secrets were recorded on this tape. What? Thank you for your stunning analysis. Okay, I guess it's just all right click. I thought maybe there was another screen. All right, my bad. Perhaps there would be a cassette somewhere in this office. No. Okay, yeah, here we go. Can you put it in, please? Play.
Earlier this morning, I used foul language in reprimanding a clumsy nurse who forgot to lock the door to the female wing. Truly offensive, dirty words. I don't recall ever doing that before. I've clearly been under a lot of stress lately. My worst fear is becoming another Alice, so I need to remain level-headed and focused. It's this place. There's a general feeling of unease in the Institute, and those unsettling rumors don't help. But the main reason for my jumpy state has to be the baffling regression in Group E. It's disconcerting and worrying. I'm giving Alice too many reasons to use shock treatment on these patients and take all of us decades back in time. Alice Hawthorne, the backwards time traveler, that fucking bastard. Ah, there you go. I did it again. Of all the cases, Rebecca is obviously the most puzzling one. She's having nightmares about her attackers again, after months of not uttering a word about the incident. And she's also becoming increasingly violent. I fear she will seriously harm herself. Yesterday, Alice found her viciously scratching her stomach. So much she left flesh wounds. She should be giving birth sometime in July. That's 3 weeks from now. Certainly this fact could be the explanation for her regression, if it wasn't for the rest of them.
Okay. Is there some kind of transcript for that? Because I'm a little bit like, I'm trying to remember Alice and Rebecca, right? Here, wait, is it under here? Rebecca, okay, Rebecca is the schizophrenic that was assaulted, right? Okay, yeah, and she's pregnant. Who is Alice? Who's Alice again? I guess I'm trying to remember. She talks about Ellis. I guess Alice is just a worker here. Okay. All right, well, let's see. So what does that gain us? It gains us a new topic, Group E. It was crucial for my peace of mind to look further into the mysterious Group E and whether I'd been a part of it. Finds the therapy room. Ebersbacher conducted a series of important therapies. Something about Group E troubled her deeply. I was sure that further details could be uncovered in the therapy room. Now, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm saying Ebersbacher. I know that he said it differently, but he also said a weird pronunciation.
Julia, it's Bruno. Our adorable high-risk patient has escaped again. No idea how he does that. Please call someone. I need assistance immediately. I'm outside the cafeteria.
Our adorable high-risk patient. Is that like code for a dog? Who called for help? Someone was asking for help. The security guard? But where? Well, it's Bruno. Didn't you hear? We don't talk about him. Hey, you know what? Now that Julia's gone, let's take a look at what she was working on. Several scribbled notes were scattered on the desk. Just like the rest of the Institute, the phone, albeit stylish, was old and dusty. It seemed like Julia had a lot of paperwork to do. And those are like damaged goods. An elegant typewriter was sitting on Julia's desk. It was a good idea to keep that coat nearby, considering the biting cold. Look, come on, look through her pockets. I'm suspicious of Julia. Oh, Kickstarters. Kurt Dog with a 0 for the O. Yeah. You know what? Now that she's not here, kind of wonder if go upstairs. She's not here to catch us. That was part of the deal, right? I could catch glimpses of the outside world through the windows, but menacing clouds ruined the view. Try as I might, the door wouldn't open. Yeah, I have a feeling if I tried to go up here, Julie would be like, hey, you're not supposed to do that. The view might once have been breathtaking, but between the stains, dirt, and the gloomy night, it was anything but. Try as I might, the door wouldn't open. Okay, well, actually going up here didn't really do anything for us. I mean, yeah, nothing on the ground. Okay. Sorry, I know it's distracting, but only TMJ sufferers will understand. Cafeteria was this way.
Hold on.
Oh.
Who the hell are you?
I'm just looking
Oh, Julie's
around.
not here?
You what? Does this look like a shopping mall to you?
I spoke with Julia and she gave me permission. You don't need to worry about me.
This place. It's unbelievable. Am I the only one taking my job seriously?
Well,
Look, it doesn't matter. I have enough on my plate with this patient on the loose. Just be on your way.
patient on the loose?
Yeah, from what
Yeah,
he said
I
in the
managed to
speakers.
lock him inside the cafeteria. See for yourself.
Oh, I thought you said adorable patient. I thought you were talking about a dog. Well, now it's creepy. Okay. He doesn't seem so adorable to me.
I see what you mean. That guy seems dangerous.
Dangerous? He's a flaming demon. He's tearing down the whole place. At this rate, there won't be a cafeteria in the morning.
You do seem busy, but can I ask some questions anyway?
Sure, whatever. The name's Bruno.
Okay. Let's ask about the madman on the loose.
So, a madman on the loose.
Yes, we're having a bit of trouble with this especially rowdy patient. It's the second time today that he's escaped. In my defense, the high-risk section needs a lot of maintenance. Low risk is in somewhat better shape, sans the atmosphere of impending doom. But high risk needs some intensive work, pronto.
That doesn't inspire much confidence, though.
Welcome to my world. Be thankful there's only one high-risk patient admitted at the moment.
Yikes.
The dialogue in this game is strange. The guy said, sans the atmosphere of impending doom. He said that out loud. What was he, a Redditor? Okay. Let's just ask about all the topics.
Does the term Group E ring a bell, Bruno?
Nah, is that a therapy group?
I believe so, yes. I'm trying to find more information about it.
The archive documents in this place are a complete mess, so good luck with that.
But why is that? Why is everything here in such a state of disarray?
I don't know much about it, except that it was well before my time here.
Yeah.
That's past history now.
It's been abandoned for years. Huh. Why is everything in this abandoned asylum in such disarray? I mean, yeah. They really did not pick their brightest bulb for this one. Okay. Well, I guess nobody picked him. He's just investigating on his own, right? He's being drawn to Silent Hill. It's that type of thing, right?
Are you familiar with the Kirkbride plan?
Kirk what?
Yeah, he
Sounds like something I don't care about.
It's the architecture of the building we're in.
Oh, right. I remember hearing that term during meetings to coordinate the reopening. An old and impractical type of construction.
But there were plans to change that, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know the whole story. But for sure, the idea is to continue that work, beginning tomorrow.
Right, yeah.
I'd like to tell you why I'm here. You see...
Let me stop you right there.
He doesn't care.
Not my problem.
Yeah.
If Julia said it was okay for you to be here, then it's fine.
You're not even curious?
Do I look like the kind of person who pursues answers, knowledge, meaning?
What?
Exactly.
Okay. That was so many senses to say, yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. You don't want to hear about my condition? I'd like to tell you about my story. I gotta say, whoever this guy is that we're playing as, I can't stand him. His name might as well be George Costanza. Can't stand ya. That was a attempt at a Seinfeld joke.
What is this about a process of reopening?
Exactly what it sounds like. They're reopening the place.
But it's a mess.
Yes, tell me about it. It's a disaster. No one knows anything. Things are just happening without a reason. I'm not sure how they intend to pull this off.
But then, why are you here, Bruno?
Because they're paying me.
Huh. Well, that's not a bad reason.
And it's not such a difficult job either, other than your average patient escaping the cell and potentially killing you in the process.
Are they paying you enough for this?
Not nearly.
I'm a little confused. I'm like, so this is an active asylum? I thought it was abandoned. Didn't we talk about that? Because didn't he walk in and wasn't he like, I thought this place was abandoned? And Julia was like, well, it's not. We're renovating it tomorrow. She made it sound like they were going to transform the whole thing. Like, for it to be a functioning asylum in the future. But, like, there's still patients here? I guess I'm in that arena of things where I'm trying to figure out if, like, what's real and what's not. Like, what are we hallucinating? Is this a real person I'm talking to? Is it like Silent Hill where, like, the other people you meet are real, but they're also delusioned about what's happening around them? They look like monsters to you? Let's ask Bruno about Bruno.
Tell me about you, Bruno.
I'm just what you see. Nothing more.
I see a troubled man in front of me with an attitude problem.
Ha ha, so funny. Let me know how you feel after you spend a few more hours in this place.
That wasn't a joke. That's literally what you seem like. Where's Julia?
Like I said, I met Julia at the entrance.
Uh-huh.
She seems to be a really nice person.
She's cool, but that's also her weakness. Sometimes she can be too nice.
What do you mean?
For example, as a receptionist, she let in a complete stranger who talks too much.
I get it.
Yeah. And wasn't she supposed to meet you here? Because I went to the front desk. She's no longer there. And it's not exactly a long walk. So where did she go?
Do you know this Dr. Miller?
Yeah, I've seen him around. But he's a reserved fellow. Haven't spoken much with him. He's the one calling the shots now.
What do you mean, calling the shots?
Dude, are you a bit slow? He's going to be in charge when this place officially reopens. And I hear he's also secured the money to make all this happen.
Wow.
Okay.
Does the name Ebers-Baker ring a bell?
I remember seeing an office with that name, but that's all I know.
It's literally just
Why are
down
you
the hall.
asking? Are you related to her?
I'm not sure. I think I knew her, yes. There's a period of my life I can't quite remember.
Are you feeling okay? I have a couple of empty cells if you need to lie down and rest.
Yes.
You positive?
I'm absolutely. No need for that.
I got cut off there. Okay, remembering my past.
You know, I was acquainted with this place in the past. A number of years ago,
Wait, why are you telling me this?
Well, I assumed that since you're a security guard, you'd want to...
Hold on. We all have responsibilities here. I take care of patients who misbehave. Julia decides who gets in. That's it.
But...
Anything else is above my paycheck.
Where's the therapy room?
do you know where the therapy room is?
Yes. It's on the other side of this floor.
Great, and how can I get there?
You can't with Samson back here trashing the whole cafeteria. It's the only way to reach the back corridor of this floor.
You mean the cafeteria is the only way to the therapy room?
That's what he just said.
Yeah. Well, the library also connects both sides of the building, but the last time I checked, it was locked.
Okay. Great. So very unhelpful. Okay, so we've done topics, we've done people. Check out my letter opener.
About this.
Stop pestering me, will you?
So we haven't really gained
right.
anything from
I'll
him.
be going.
Hey, wait. You seem like a decent sport.
I
Or
do?
At least a harmless one. I have a favor to ask of you.
Sure.
Can you go fetch my baton? I left it in my office when I went running to pursue our friend the Tasmanian Devil here.
Okay, I guess. Where is that?
You need to go all the way through the infirmary, then down the stairway.
Which infirmary?
My office is in a lower corridor they used to call the Tunnel of the Damned.
Good grief.
Nah, the name is more intimidating than it sounds. Just please go, ASAP. I need that baton to deal with the ongoing crisis.
Sounds good. I'll be on my way.
I need that baton to beat the crap out of this guy in the cafeteria. Okay. Alright, so we're going into the male infirmary. Even when it was clean and orderly so many years ago, the infirmary had never been a cozy place. The malfunctioning fluorescent lights hurt my eyes as I made my way. Let's see if we can do something about that, by the way. Because I noticed that the light sensitivity... Let's put it on photophobia. That is not helpful. Cataract? I was hoping that there was... Oh, I see. It's just like basically a gamma setting. I was hoping that it would do something about the flashing lights. Vignette. Can we put it on low? Okay, I think... I don't know. That's not helpful. Sorry, guys. Flashing lights, if that bothers you. I don't think that there's a way to change it. So, you know, as far as flashing lights go, it's not that bad. Definitely seen worse. The photo depicted a group of patients talking amongst themselves. A therapy session? Yeah, is that you in the background? Oh, the guy whose face I can't see, that's me. What if we're a doctor here? A doctor who is now a patient. The radiators weren't working, and it showed. The infirmary felt like the Arctic. Most windows in areas with patients had some manner of protection. Still, sometimes a crazed patient would tear the grills apart and mash their head against the glass. You could have put the best mattress you could find on those iron beds, and they still wouldn't be comfortable. Okay. Looked like some kind of organ. I had no idea which one. Okay. Nothing really here for us. This blocked stairway likely led to the basement and second floor. Okay, let's interesting. Apparently, some patients had already been transferred, even before the reopening. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm glad that you're like, huh, apparently. Because that's what I was like, when Julia at the front desk said that they were preparing to reopen, I was under the assumption there were no patients here. This particular cell was quieter than the others. I was like, do I need to go back and reread that conversation? Tunnel of the Damned. I had to go to the so-called Tunnel of the Damned, one of the most horrifying places in the Institute. Hopefully I'd find the answers I was seeking in there. Bruno, the security guard, had asked me to fetch his baton to deal with a crazed patient. An annoying task, but the therapy room was beyond the cafeteria. Anyway, I had to get back. So, I feel like this is a good time talking about using the baton to deal with a crazed patient and the Tunnel of the Damned and stuff. It's a good time to bring up, a lot of times in horror games, they use mental health institute settings and things like that as like a source of horror. And I've always advocated for the discontinued use of such settings or a de-emphasization. Tried opening the cell to no avail. Of this type of idea that, like, you know, people suffering from mental health illnesses are horrifying, violent creatures, you know. So I'm gonna refrain from judgment on this game titled Asylum to see what they do with it by the end of it. There didn't seem to be any water or whatever unspeakable fluid ran through the pipes in this place. So I'll try not to comment on it. I'm interested to see if there's like a point that's gonna be made, or if maybe there's parts of this that are a result of hallucination, delusions, you know, some sort of exaggeration, I guess, on the part of the protagonist. I guess somebody didn't like his teddy bear. That looks a lot like the teddy bear from Scratches with the throat ripped out. Somehow I could relate to its situation. Rejected and discarded by society. Okay. Was Robin locked up in this institute? So it is a reference to Scratches. Oh my. Is that Robin? I think it might be. So wait. Wait, am I the guy from Scratches? Did I somehow miss that, or is that just like an Easter egg? I don't think so, because the guy from Scratches was British. No, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but I've had a wild 48 hours IRL. Just stuff with the kids, so everything's okay, but we had a scare, so I'm a little frazzled at the moment, not really thinking totally straight. Upon entering this corridor, I could see why it had been nicknamed Tunnel of the Damned. I didn't recall ever being down here, and I was thankful for that. There was a fancy music box inside the cabinet. Well, can we break it? Bruno's cabinet was tightly shut. I wonder what the story was behind that quaint music box. Wouldn't open, but there was probably nothing of much interest inside. I mean, who are you to say that? Oh, there's the baton. I took Bruno's baton with me as he requested. That's not all we're gonna do, by the way. Oh. I was hoping you would just look at that. It would have taken me hours to go through all these documents, and they didn't even seem relevant. The drawer as he says, was filled with old and useless papers. There were some random notes hanging on the corkboard. Old, forgotten memories, and not readable anyway. They look pretty readable to me, but alright. A variety of pulp paperbacks and some old newspapers. Okay, let's read the journal. October 14th, noon. Music again. That blasted tune echoing in the corridor gets on my nerves. As if all the bizarre noises in this horrible place weren't enough, but it's the only way to keep him calm. I'll take the creepy children's nursery music over his maniacal pounding any day. Good thing I brought my own food. They said provisions would be available for us during this phase, but I swear, they're trying to poison us. I'd pick one of the abominations in those jars from the museum over that canned stuff they sent us. Or maybe not. I'm bored. I don't know who's supervising this construction work, but there's no way the place will be in safe condition to bring in more patients anytime soon. Certainly not tonight. So Bruno wrote this tonight? Does he write in his little diary every night on the job? If you ask me, and no one will, I'm a nobody. This whole thing is way, way too rushed. You don't need to bring in a dangerous psychopath to test the security of the facilities. Just being here for 5 minutes will tell you all you need to know. I'm beginning to regret signing up for this. There's a foul stench coming from that massive metal door at the end of the corridor. I think it leads to the storage room in the basement. Can only imagine the source of that smell. Can't seem to open the door, though. It won't budge. Think it's mechanical, and that electrical sound behind it doesn't inspire confidence either. Evening, somewhat. Okay, that's it. I'm taking that cursed music box away. Can't stand it anymore. I don't care how much he enjoys music. Eventually, he'll bang his own brains into oblivion. Gonna be organized for whatever it's worth and note accurate times for my next entries. Okay. "6 p.m. Oh my god, he wrote just last hour. It's 9 p.m. now. The lighting in this godforsaken place is failing, giving me a headache with all that constant flickering. It's worse than the horrible smell at the end of the corridor, but at least the smell doesn't hurt. Hope the construction workers arrive on time. 7 p.m. Stupid me, couldn't help myself and tried opening that door. Zap! Electric shock. Way to go, genius. I should trust my instinct next time. With all the stinking humidity down here, I can only assume the moisture has caused a wiring malfunction. One thing's for sure, I'm not getting anywhere beyond this corridor. 8 p.m. 2 keys seem to be missing. One is for the locked office of a certain Hawthorne. The other is for the office of the previous director of the institute, Hanwell himself. That Dr. Miller guy asked me about those keys again. Sure, Your Highness, Dr. Miller. Let me spend the whole night searching for those keys for you. I'm not your damn assistant. Although, that patient roaming the building. Leo, is it? There's something odd about him. I don't trust that guy. Should have a word with him when I get the chance. So there's a patient roaming the building, and you're the security guy. I'll have a word with him. Okay. Interesting. So, I assumed a set of keys would be useful. Grab them on an impulse. Yes, keys are useful. That's like the whole idea behind them. Is that patient that was... Oh wait, has that door always been open? A metallic sound resonated throughout the menacing tunnel of the damned, yet the door wouldn't open. Don't lock me in here, okay? Well, odd scribblings adorned the walls. I wonder how on earth he could draw any of that. Okay. It's like a ukulele, right? 4 strings. And is there some reason... Is there something that we can gain from this? The strings are not tight at all, by the way, you can see. They're, they come together too much in the middle. And in fact, they appear to be twisting back and forth. Huh. Help me. Hell no. Goo? Gob? Gab? Gab Smolders? This cell seemed to be abandoned. Okay, we can't get past the opened door. Try as we might. It's an insurmountable obstacle. So we gotta go back and give Bruno his little baton. There was old equipment scattered around, damaged and without any apparent use. You know, just because it's old or because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's useless or pointless. He's gone. The teddy bear is still there. Interesting. Okay. Here we go. Bruno, I got your baton.
Well, you brought my baton.
Yeah.
Someone who's actually helpful in this godforsaken chunk of concrete.
Don't mention it. It was easy to find with your directions.
Okay.
About these keys.
Hold on. What the hell are you doing with that?
He's gonna let me keep it.
Give that back right now.
Wait, did I give it back? I thought he was gonna let me keep it.
See you later, Bruno.
Oh, so we don't have the keys anymore? Okay. Well, can I go through the cafeteria
Hey, Bruno.
now? I need to get to the therapy room?
You don't have the keys to the library?
No.
What kind of security guard are you?
Hey, back off. This place is a mess. It's a miracle they have any security.
See you later, Bruno.
Okay, so he brought his baton back. Now what? Actually, can I look at the tasks?
Hi again, Bruno.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything. Find the baton. Okay. Well. Okay, we're done with Tunnel of the Damned.
See you later, Bruno.
Okay. Wait, did I really give him the keyring, or do I have it now? Hang on, let me see. Can I go into the library? Latch from the other side. Right. Okay. Is Julia back? Where'd she go? Really strange, right? Okay. It was of paramount importance for my search to reach the room where Ebersbacher treated her patients. Yeah. So what did bringing in the baton gain us, exactly? I'm not sure that it gained us anything. Can I just... My biggest jump scare. Okay. So, maybe I talk to him some more?
Hey, Bruno.
Hey, Bruno. Madman on the loose.
So, what are you gonna do about that madman? You have the baton now.
Yeah.
I'm not going in there yet. I'll wait until he's calmed down a bit.
How can you calm down someone like him?
He will calm down. Eventually, I guess.
Okay.
So you really don't know anything else about it?
All I know is that you're getting on my nerves.
Okay.
See you later, Bruno.
Alright. I think I'm going to take another break, and we'll be back with more Asylum in just a moment. Alright, I am back, and I guess we're going to go back in here. See what else we can find. I guess I missed something. Oh. Journal updated. Oh, oh. I was looking at the picture. Is there not? Okay, but instead I got some records. Okay, actually, red record, yellow record. An old vinyl. Classical gold. The label on this vinyl read, relaxing classical music. Nice, I could have used some relaxation. The record was in good condition and said classical symphonies. Okay, so we got classical symphonies, classical gold, and relaxing classical music. So, if you remember, there was a record player. I guess we're not doing anything with Bruno right now. I don't know. I think when time moves forward by another hour to 10 p.m., we can come back and go through the cafeteria. But until then, we've got to do something else. I'm not sure I understand. Oh wait, no, was it the room with the books? Maybe. Oh, my wife's asking me if I want tacos, and the answer is yes. Wait, he's not here. The answer is yes. Hang on, I gotta get my taco order in. I would like, it's Torchy's Tacos, if you must know. I would like, what would I like? What's your Torchy's order? Yeah, it's this, isn't it? There was nothing worth mentioning. Okay, well, I guess we'll just try this. Violin concertos, Op 8. Such elegance violin. Elegant violin. Okay. I'm getting the trailer park on flour and the Baja shrimp also on flour. Please. Okay. All right, well, that's not really doing anything for us. So take it off. Oh, wait. Sweet. Oh, suite number 16, B minor. A relaxing variety piece. Flute solo from Turandot. However you pronounce that. Turando. Nocturne suite in E flat. Haunting. Okay, so you know a lot about classical music. Kind of weird. No, I would like to get rid of it. Okay, let's... Well, yeah, I'd like to... Let's see. Not the letter opener. Relaxing classical music. Okay. Prelude for guitar number 16. Some relaxing guitar music. Am I supposed to be keeping track of this stuff? Toccata in D minor. A selection of classical orchestras. Variations, Op 16. Or 36, not bad. Dusk on a G flat, a classic for many. Okay. Couldn't grab the record while the turntable was on. Skill issue. Classical symphonies, okay. Adagio, Op 2. I personally like the tension in this piece. Piano Sonata number 4 in B flat. A delicate piano never disappoints. Symphony number 6, an enchanting piece. Harp and Harmonies, Suite 4. The harp sounded magical. So am I supposed to be pairing these up with the vinyl sleeves that I'm finding around? Is that the whole idea of seeing what's on it? Okay, let's... Because I thought these were collectibles. So, like, for example, over here. Relaxing classical music. Right. So this is the sleeve. This is the sleeve for the record that we found. But is there any way to pair up the sleeve with the vinyl record? Because I don't really understand why. Please be more mindful of the vinyl records. Their covers are scattered all over the section and they're getting damaged. We can't let patients play with them. It's a shame and a disgrace to all the hard work we nurses do here to keep this place running smoothly. Alice. Oh yeah, Alice is a nurse. There we go. I thought I had heard... I don't know if I can... So, I mean, if you've got the record and it's got like the 4 tracks on it that we can identify, and it's got the same name, and you've got the cover, is there some kind of puzzle with that? I mean, it's the yellow record, right? Yeah, relaxing classical music. So I can't pair those up? I guess I'm just not sure I understand that. Like, what was the point? Maybe maybe we go back to the record player room. Maybe there's something nearby. Speaker wiring diagram. Okay, so wait, so maybe we can play music to calm down the guy in the cafeteria because the speakers are wind up there. Okay. Okay, so that must be it. Classic symphonies. Relaxing classical music? Let's try it. Okay. Which do you think is the most relaxing one? So is he gonna like any of these? Let's do it says some relaxing guitar music. Okay, it's playing. But the thing is that with 12 total tracks, any one of them could... Oh, okay. Okay. Great. So now we can go through the cafeteria. That's so... Oh, 10 p.m. Oh! Sorry. Okay, that hour flew by like that. I got an achievement, 10 p.m. Spent 2 hours in the asylum. I remembered how busy this place was back in the day. Patients gobbling their stew or rubbing it on their faces. And it's gone. I think I might want to try slow conversations. Just see how that goes. I figured there was nothing of interest beneath that blanket, and I didn't want to touch it anyway. Despite its age, it was functional, as I had confirmed myself. The last speaker was in decent condition. Okay. Some faint moonlight leaks through the dirt, allowing me to find my way in the cafeteria. The remains of an old, unidentifiable meal. That's disgusting. The grimy glass of the window covered with what was surely an even more depressing view. Okay. Oh, okay. The first part of this we found in that room with the books. Adhering to the Kirkbride principle. For most of its existence, the Hanwell Mental Institute adhered to the Kirkbride plan, with 2 long wings extending to the west and east for male and female patients, respectively. The Kirkbride plan was a building as cure model for mental hospitals, focusing on healing mental illness through layout design and a strategic staffing hierarchy. Similar institutes built using this plan exhibited varied architectural styles, but the majority adopted the familiar bat wing arrangement. This consisted of sections of rooms branching off from a central structure, allowing each area in the building to benefit from exposure to natural light and proper air circulation. Is this real? Before the Kirkbride plan, the mentally ill were kept in regular houses or prisons without appropriate facilities, or were concealed in public buildings. Thomas Story Kirkbride, the psychiatrist who designed the Kirkbride plan, believed the layout of mental hospital buildings was of prime relevance to patient treatment. Various patient distribution criteria were applied within each establishment, such as the separation of high-risk patients from lower-risk ones. Kirkbride emphasized to psychiatric professionals the importance of keeping patients busy with tasks, since it benefited their mental health and also helped with the maintenance of the grand buildings. Interesting. Well, I'm not sure how much that's going to help us in, like, our task here. We can press those buttons again. I don't know why we would need that. The door seems stuck, but almost gave way. Are you kidding me? Okay. Well, I'm glad we finally got it sorted. Yes, thank you. That's helpful. Okay, so I'm trying to go to the therapy room, which is right here. Down the corridor. We can also go up to the second floor, down to the basement with the gallery. We've also got the kitchen and laundry room. Okay. Did you hear that? Psst, hey. Oh.
Oh.
Is this Leo? The patient wandering?
Hi. My name is Lenny.
Oh, Lenny. Sorry. Yeah? This is very slow.
Hello, Lenny.
Oh.
I didn't expect to find someone like you walking around.
Oh, but you don't have to worry about me. I behave well. They allow me to walk alone and help.
Well, that's a relief then. I'm pleased to meet you, Lenny.
Now it's my turn to clean this corridor. Why are you here?
It's difficult to explain, Lenny. Some time ago, I was like you. I was being treated in this institute. But something happened. A terrible circumstance that I can't remember, and the truth is, I'm not feeling well, and I don't want to be treated again.
Yes, I know. It happened to me, too.
What? You too? But then...
I was here at that time when something happened.
Lenny, we need to talk more.
Check out my letter opener.
So, what about you, Lenny? Do you roam the corridors all the time?
Oh, not quite. I'm assisting with the renovation of the building, cleaning as many areas as I can.
You seem to know your way around.
You're not doing a good
What
job.
can you tell me about the Institute?
I don't know. It's nice. I like it in here. Feels like home.
How long have you been here?
Oh, long time. Years, as far as I can recall. They took me away all of a sudden, but I kept asking about Hanwell, and one day they brought me back.
But don't you want to leave and go outside, see the world?
Not really. Maybe I did want to leave a long time ago, but I've forgotten why. There's nothing out there for me.
I think... I can't do it. I think the slow conversations bit is just for these. You have to click through them instead of having them play naturally, which I don't like. I was kind of hoping that slow conversations would be, have like the thoughts when you pop into a room. I was hoping that it would keep those up longer.
What do you think about Bruno?
Who is that?
I'm referring to the security guard.
Oh, that man. I didn't know his name. We saw each other a number of times, but we don't speak. I think he's mean.
Yes, he does seem to have a bit of an attitude. About Dr. Ebers-Baker.
Ebers?
Anne Ebers-Baker.
Oh, Dr. Anne, yes. I remember when we gathered the chairs around her. It was nice speaking with her.
What were the therapy sessions about?
Well, let me see. We talked about our problems, how to keep a healthy mind, our fears too, and how to cope with them. Dr. Anne made me feel well.
Okay, good.
Have you met Dr. Miller?
Yes, briefly. I don't like him.
Why is that, Lenny?
He's hiding something. Be careful with him.
What are your thoughts on Julia?
Who's Julia?
The girl in the foyer, the receptionist.
Oh, yes. I saw her a few times, but we don't speak much. I'm too busy cleaning.
Right. Makes sense. Okay. We've asked you about all the people.
Are you familiar with this ongoing process of reopening?
Yes. They allowed me to come back, and I was very happy. I talk a lot about Hanwell and how I enjoyed helping here back in the day.
But Lenny, this place is a mess. You can't clean everything on your own.
I don't have anything else to do.
About me.
Are you feeling bad?
That's one way to put it. My memories feel like they're broken. I've been here, that's one certainty, but some grisly event left my mind crippled.
I feel the same. My memories of that time are fuzzy. I liked being here. This place always made me feel comfortable until the event.
What did they do to us, Lenny?
The event. It's the first time they brought something like that. The incident.
Does the word Kirkbride mean anything to you?
That word reminds me of something. Someone said that. Oh no.
What, Lenny?
It was down below when I heard that word.
Down below.
Down below? What do you mean?
Yes. We were all happy until they took us to the floor beneath.
I assume you mean the basement. What happened there?
I don't want to talk about it. I want to forget. No more pain.
Please, Lenny, I really need to know what happened. It will help both of us.
That's where it all started. Down below. You should go and see for yourself.
Okay, I will.
I'm looking for details about a particular therapy group.
Therapy?
Well, my suspicion is that patients who participated in a series of therapy sessions were somehow connected to the circumstances that led to the closure of the Institute. Does this sound familiar to you?
Therapy groups. Yes. I remember them. I had many friends back then.
You do remember?
Do you remember me?
I remember the sessions. We were all there. They called us Team E.
Hold on. Did you mean Group E?
Yes, that's it.
But wait, you were saying that you were in Group E during the sessions?
Yes. I remember the letter E very well when they called us. And, Dr. Anne.
This is extraordinary, Lenny. Now we need to understand who else belonged in Group E. About the patients in Group E, you said you were there.
Yes. There were a few of us. Dr. Ann spoke often and encouraged everyone to speak too. At first it was nice. We enjoyed sitting next to each other. I think I remember you.
What?
It was a happy time, but then came the pain.
Pain? What are you talking about, Lenny?
I'm not sure, but it all started down below. I don't want to think about it.
Okay.
Lenny, I'm looking for the therapy room.
Yes, it's down the corridor.
Yeah. Actually, the
Oh,
opposite way you're
Then
pointing.
if you would just let me...
No, you can't go.
What do you mean?
I'm cleaning the corridor.
Okay, I'll just step right here, carefully, and avoid.
No, you'll ruin everything!
Fine. Please, don't scream. Lenny, I'm having nightmares about my stay in the Institute. I think something terrible happened to us inside this place.
I am happy to help you, but I don't want to remember. They're sad memories.
But still, it's important we understand what happened to us. Can't you?
Please, no. Stop.
Sure, Lenny. I'm sorry. Lenny, I need to learn more. What's in the basement?
I don't like to remember that place.
Right. I've gathered
Something
that.
happened down there.
How do we get to it?
What am I supposed to do?
Just look in the rooms. You'll understand. And be careful.
Okay. I think we've pretty much covered everything. Look at my letter opener. I think I'm gonna do
Well,
that.
Lenny, it was nice talking to you. I'll be on my way.
Wait, you said you wanted to know what happened?
That's right. I came here looking for answers.
Oh, I don't like these memories, but it all started down below.
Right.
Down below.
We already
Yes.
said this.
I've been trying to forget, but if you want answers, you should go there.
Yeah, he has to say this just in case you don't ask about down below, and we can't get past him to the therapy room. So, okay, but we can go down to the basement. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but the cart was full of rubbish. Poor Lenny was going to have a lot of work cleaning up this place. Let's open it. Let's rip open the bag with our letter opener. I didn't want to touch Lenny's cart. He's going to be quite protective of his cleaning tools. You know, Lenny, there's a lot of leaves here that you're just leaving around. Get it? Okay. No way to go in. It was better to move on. Okay. All right. Well, we gotta do our best here. Yeah, let's go down, I guess. Lenny reminds me a lot of Dobby the house elf. Got to remember to give him a sock later. What is this? Oh. Huh. Very neat. Of all the things that could prove useful inside this place, paint wasn't one of them. I assume this place hadn't been maintained in a long, long time. Actually, I mean, there's a lot of repainting that needs to be done, so that's a strange thing for you to say, I think. Okay, where are we? Oh. It's like a bug sprayer or something. Cool. Let's take it. Nope, we're gonna put it back. Sorry, we only take things like crumpled up notes from trash bags. We don't take things that are useful like that. I didn't want to go through the boxes, which seemed empty and were likely crawling with bugs. Is that a mummified cat? A disgusting carcass of a dead cat was a perfect fit for the gloomy ambiance of the basement. You know, Lenny, I can think of a couple things down here you could clean up, starting with the corpse of the cat. I put it in the drawer. Not even moths cared about those filthy rags. Maybe some time ago, patients used to wear them, but at present, they wouldn't serve even as dish rags. So judgmental. Everything you say is so judgmental. Bruh. Can't see anything here. Couldn't see a thing down the corridor. Need some light source to proceed. Couldn't see a thing down the corridor. Okay, well, let's go in here. There's a furnace that's going. There was some kind of grating or trap door on the concrete floor. The right boiler wasn't working. Fortunately, the other provided enough light to search the place. Ah. Yeah, you unsuccessfully burnt this. For the time being, we've been able to proceed without raising much suspicion, but that won't last long. Yesterday, the absences from the yard were noticed, and Nurse Alice inquired about the missing patients. Sidestepping Ebersbacher and addressing me directly like that means the nurses are far more concerned than I imagined. As for Ebersbacher, I overheard her wondering aloud why the patients were covered in dirt, if they hadn't been seen in the yard. It's a relief that Walter gave in to the idea of renovating our building, but he's growing too old-fashioned and stubborn. No doubt the failure of his invention hit him hard. He used to be keener on progress and the swift adoption of new modern technologies, but something deep inside him has changed. Now he's stuck in the past and has grown too attached to this building, his grandiose creation, which inevitably has to change. No matter, we waited for too long, and we need money. It always comes down to money. This guy we're reading? Very evil. Very, very evil. Until we're able to secure adequate funding, we have no choice but to resort to cheap labor. Being located in the countryside has its share of benefits, but procuring the manpower needed to remodel this place has proven to be quite a bit more challenging than expected, and always subject to the brutal reality of cost. At first, Walter insisted we select one patient from each group to minimize the risk of calling attention to their absence, but I argued that it was preferable to choose an entire close-knit group, Group E maybe, to avoid spreading unnecessary chatter that we couldn't control. Of course, in the end, they're all lunatics. Their word carries no weight compared to ours, but it's still desirable to keep gossip to a minimum. If one small group of mentally unstable people insists on discussing things the greater population knows nothing about, we could always contend that this isolated group is experiencing a collective hallucination. Oh my god, this guy is just twirling his mustache over here. It's almost midnight and my turn to supervise the work. One of the patients mentioned an odd smell emanating from the newly opened tunnel. They always imagine the strangest things, and I think I heard a sort of hissing sound that puzzled me. This seems worth investigating. Can't believe it. As I approached the opening, there was a hint of haze. I noticed that in the hallway, or condensation in the air, and it smelled very unusual indeed. Can't describe it, but it felt old. Some kind of ancient, highly concentrated earthy smell. Curious about this, I instructed the patient, Leonard, I believe. That's Lenny. To strike that wall one more time, I had to insist twice. His tool wedged open the crevice, which released a formidable stream of fumes. It's hard to convey on paper, but there was a change in air pressure, and the foul odor intensified through the tunnel. The patients are too nervous. I must seek Walter. How about this back here? Okay. Interesting. If you wanted to burn that, maybe you could pick the boiler that works. The burning fire in the boiler bathed the room in a sinister glow. Oh. Jonas Crawford. Okay. He looks like the theater guy from BioShock. It is accomplished! Oh, what's his name? Fort Frolic guy. Medium-sized male whose outlandish behavior and off-putting manners often disturbs his peers. A clear case of paranoia, and deemed highly unstable. Even though he is slim and fairly short in stature, Jonas Crawford had been known to terrorize some of the most menacious patients. Wow, what a word. Haven't heard that very often. With his wild, staring eyes. Fortunately, Crawford is often in good spirits, and whenever that happens, he can be one of the most joyful and amusing patients in the Institute, constantly making jokes and lightening the mood. He's a fast talker, quite witty too. He could have become a great comedian if not for his mental condition. However, just as he can be cheerful, He can also immediately turn violent and frequently causes harm both to his peers and the nursing team. Crawford has an intense fear of darkness, which many specialists still cannot explain. Well, fear of the dark? Isn't there a phobia for that? Yeah, it's a phobia, right? What could the explanation possibly be? Interesting. Let's turn off slow conversations while I'm thinking about it. Okay, the hitbox for the mouse clicking on things isn't quite where it should be. It's like a little bit off. Okay, so I guess we have a new topic for Lenny, right? The clothes have been hanging in a dark and damp place for a long time, and thus were covered in mold. Thus, they were covered in mold. We'll probably ask him about something, scare him off somehow, or make him leave. And then we'll be able to get into the therapy room.
Lenny, do you have a moment?
Yes?
Okay. What's the new... Let's ask about Crawford.
Are you familiar with the name Crawford?
Right. Crawford. He was in our group with Dr. Ann. He made many jokes. So funny. I laughed a lot with him. But he also had a scary look on his face. Sometimes he just went crazy.
Do you know what happened to him?
No. One day, he just disappeared.
Okay. Wait, I thought I had more than that.
You know, I used to be like you, Lenny.
Oh, are you feeling better now?
You could say that. I was well, at least for a while.
So, why are you here?
That's a very good question.
Okay.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the basement?
No, I'm sorry.
How do I say I was down there and I saw the note about you and the foul odor? Yeah, how do I do that? Dr. Miller. Dr. Ebersbacher. Bruno.
Is there anything else you can tell me about this?
No, I'm sorry.
Did you hear anything else about this?
No.
I should be on my way, Lenny.
Sorry, I cut him off. He's blocking us from the therapy room. Was there something else I was supposed to find down there? You know, maybe we go... maybe we go back to the cafeteria through the mail ward? Let's see if Julia's back at the front desk. She might be back. Yeah, she's back. Let's see if I can ask her some new things. That might actually be helpful. You have to walk around. Hi.
Have you been upstairs?
No.
Not at all.
Don't lie to me. I thought I could trust you, but I may start having second thoughts.
All right, I'm sorry. I had a quick look, but didn't go very far.
Please, I told you, the upper floors are off limits. Don't make me regret giving you permission to enter the building.
Don't worry, Julia. You can trust me. I won't cause you any trouble. Cross my heart.
You got
Do you know Lenny?
It's funny you call him Lenny like you were friends. Yes, I know Leonard. He's been around in the Institute for a long time.
It seems like he's taking care of janitorial services.
Oh yes, I understand it's a kind of treatment of, positive reinforcement. That's it. Leonard is the... what's an appropriate word for this? The most normal of the patients we have readmitted so far?
Yes, he seems quite nice.
Ask about Bruno.
I met Bruno.
Yeah, he's our new security guy. He can be grouchy and quite unpleasant sometimes, but he's got a heart of gold.
He seemed quite angered by my presence here.
Well, it's a strange night to begin with. Just make sure you avoid asking him as many questions as you do me.
I have to say, Julia's voice actress, maybe they were directed this way, but the voice acting is very flat for her. I think the intention is that she's very no nonsense, like I'm only, you know, we're not gonna get to know each other, we're not friends, I'm very serious about my job type of thing, but it is still coming across pretty flat for me.
Do you know of anyone called Crawford?
No, I'm sorry.
You don't know I guess maybe he's older. Oh no. Okay. Down below.
I don't think we have anything else to discuss.
Oh.
Thank you for being considerate. There's so much I need to do.
So, there's a therapy group
What we're gonna talk about
simply
anyway.
named E, and I'm interested in finding out more about the patients in that group.
We're talking about the past here, correct?
Right, before the reopening.
Well, that's a complicated one. There are few records left about how things were organized back then. What is your interest in this Group E?
I believe that I'm acquainted with those patients, but I'm not sure how many were in the group.
Your best bet is to seek out the individual reports for those people. Each patient used to have a printed sheet with their medical history, the room they were housed in, and whether they participated in any therapy sessions.
I see. Well, that's helpful enough, Julia. Thank you.
Yeah, well, can we go to Dr. Ebersbacher's office for that?
I have nothing else to say about this.
Fine by me. If that's all, I'll get back to work.
Do you know where the therapy room is?
Yes, it's on the other side of this floor.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah, Lenny is blocking it, though. Okay. Well, I guess that will do it for me.
That's all for now. I'll be back.
You know, it really is amazing. If you look up the trailer for the 2011, like the 2011 trailer for Asylum, I mean, this is like spot on exactly what it looked like in the trailer. So it's so weird to see it so many years later. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of drama with how this game was released and stuff, but like there must be some reason why it took so long. I just haven't looked into it. Now, are you telling me I can't look at these? Because like, I'm hoping that maybe I can find Lenny's file and it can... This just had, yeah. It can be like, Lenny really likes, I don't know. Ah, okay, well, here's something. And Ebersbacher, an ideal complement. The recovery rate at the Institute was high, thanks to advanced treatments and novel group therapy techniques pioneered by the universally acclaimed psychologist Dr. Ann Ebersbacher. You kept this? Okay. Alright, I would keep it too, if it was written about me. Even patients with extreme mental disorders showed meaningful progress under her care, went on to enjoy full lives within the walls of the Institute. Okay. Yeah, well, alright. Many others returned to their families in time, ready to face new challenges and experiences in their improved conditions. Okay. See, now that's more noteworthy. Dr. Ebersbacher organized and directed group therapy sessions for patients who had a chance of recovering or demonstrated an ability to reason. She even took part in many of those sessions herself, investing an unusual amount of effort in her patients' progress. Colleagues remember her soft, caressing voice. Okay. It had a magical effect, soothing everyone around her. Her dedication was initially perceived by the rest of the staff as the mark of passion and altruism, but in time, it became apparent that her interest was purely medical. Although Dr. Ebersbacher was a generally moral and honorable person, she was in fact wholly uninterested in the patients themselves and was focused rather on the improvement of science. It was by pure chance that her patients improved in return. In later years, Dr. Ebersbacher's demeanor became cold and calculating, She began to neglect herself, always showing up to work untidy and exuding a somber mood. Rumors that she made a startling discovery abound to this day. Okay. A startling discovery. No. This is so loud. These cabinets are so loud. Now this has a combination too, but it's just open. The drawers seem to be jammed. Oh, well, whatever. Okay. And I can't get in here, right? Right, and I'm back in here. Huh. Well, we can maybe ask Lenny about the startling discovery. Because he seems acquainted with Dr. Ann and about the stuff downstairs. Let's see if I can ask him.
Lenny.
Yes?
Okay, yeah. Oh! Oh, do we not really have... I thought maybe we had something new to discuss.
I should be on my way.
Okay. I'm actually gonna take another break. Sorry. My mom's visiting right now, so I'm gonna talk to her and hang out with her for a little bit before she has to leave. So I'm gonna save and see you in 1 second. Okay, so this was very unexpected. I closed out of the game, right? And then just now I hit play on Steam to load up the game, and it just dropped me off right here in front of Lenny. So that is unexpected. I actually don't want to talk to Lenny.
Lenny.
No,
Yes?
I don't want to talk
I
to
should
you.
be on my way, Lenny.
All right. Obviously, I think we got to go back down to the basement because I clearly missed something. Despite having the circles on, you know, and this wouldn't be the first time in this playthrough I've had to revisit. I think it's probably in the furnace room because, yeah, the hallway doesn't seem to have anything. Okay, we can't open that. For a moment, I seemed to hear a faint scratching noise coming from inside the boiler, but I quickly attributed that thought to a trick of my imagination. Okay, well that means something for sure. We found this, which you know, you gotta wonder, how do you fail to burn paper? I mean, you light a match near it and it's instantly ablaze. Somewhere inside, okay. The pipes in the room were covered with rust. Okay. Scratching. A scratching noise? Oh, that's a reference to scratches. Oh, I thought that was like a clue. Oh my god. Scratches reference. Right. Okay, here we go. Oh. Oh. Emergency lighting wiring. Oh. Okay, wait. Oh. Okay, we can't have both of them on. Okay, one of them... Wait. Power? Let's try on power first. Does it turn on the lights out here? It does, okay. Okay. Looks like we're in the flashing light territory again. Sorry about that. It was hopeless. The door was firmly shut in place. This guy is such, he is such a Debbie Downer. It's hopeless. I've lost all hope. Okay. Nothing of note. What are you talking about? What did I just pick up? Looked like wire cutters of some kind? Fix lights in the basement. Any hope of further exploring the corners of this underground level involved fixing the lights. Okay. It is a wire cutter, okay. Small wire cutter, wonderful tool. Alright, calm down. A wonderful tool. It was impossible to see anything in the room. I had to find a way to restore the lights. Right. Well, I turned on the power, but if I turn on emergency, I don't know. I had no luck opening this door. I doubt the door could open without the help of heavy equipment. Heavy equipment. Let me see if there's like a light switch, actually. I don't see any light switch or anything like that. That's okay. Okay, tried to open those. You know, on a side note, this is like the best looking Flash game of all time. It's not a Flash game, but you know what I mean. Like Ex Mortis, The House, some of those older Flash games. Oh yeah, zap, I get electrocuted. It looked awfully dangerous, so I kept my distance. Yeah, this is the door that Bruno said he couldn't open. Okay, I'm just looking off to the side, make sure I don't miss anything. This seemed like a very climactic room. Look at how dirty it is in here. Lanny, I want to clean up some of these beds. Why are they stacked like this? Okay. Doesn't seem like there's anything really here. I can't get over how the music is like barely noticeable in this game. And scratches, it's such a huge part of it. The gate was locked. Echoes of distant flowing water came from downstairs. Okay, let's see if we can open the lights or the emergencies. So I turn on. Is that helpful? Okay. Possible to see anything. So I got wire cutters. Wait. So there's blue and red, right? Blue and red. So red are the emergency. Blue is power. Is that right? I guess I'm just not quite understanding what the point of having emergency lights on is for, but maybe it lights up things a bit better in this room. Red means scary, y'all. Oh wait, it means we can go in, right? Oh no. It's still electrified. Look at that. That looks... There's some pixels lighting up right there. Okay. Feeling extremely stupid right now. How is the power... Oh, look at that right there. What's this? What's this? This is it. Oh my god! There's a rat in there! That didn't deserve my attention. What? The frayed wire? There's nothing worth mentioning. Okay. What am I doing? It was not the most professional electrical job, but it would hold. Huh? Hopefully the short circuit in the basement area would be fixed now. Wait, you used the wire cutters to bring the wires together? I figured the door would lead back to the high-risk area, but that shortened electrical lock prevented it from opening. Wait, I thought we fixed it. Do I go back and turn the power on now? I don't know, clearly you can tell I'm not an electrician of any kind. There was no need to turn off the lights again, especially after going to such great lengths to get them working. Oh, I misunderstood what was happening. Okay, so now we've just got the lights on. All the lights are totally on. Great. Okay, so now we can go into this room. Tools and machinery lay scattered across a construction area, seemingly abandoned into chaos. Walls were cracked, peeling under the weight of the years, and the metallic scent of rust, mixed with an earthy smell, permeated the room. So wait, is this where they were digging? And then they came across something they were never meant to come across, right? A cart which had seen better days was in the corner of the construction area. They love saying that in adventure games. I remember playing Dark Seed, and Mike Dawson, the protagonist, was always saying that. This has seen better days. Bricked up door right here, huh? Oh. Over time, mental hospitals built using the Kirkbride system began to present numerous maintenance and operational problems. Faults in the design led to unforeseen practical difficulties, and their rigid layouts prohibited efficient expansion. The Kirkbride plan soon became a significant problem in mental health. Since many mental hospitals are state-funded, a combination of budget cuts and high maintenance expenses spelled doom for the principles of the Kirkbride plan. Personnel wages, medications, medical appliances, coal for the boilers, electrical maintenance, and sewer services represented but a small fraction of the costs of keeping such large establishments operating. With the general high levels of stress and economic issues also impacting the public and modern society. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean when I say it sounds like it was written by ChatGPT? I'm not saying it was, but it just sounds... It sounds like a robot is writing about the lives of humans. Humans experience stress and economic issues. Experts warned of a surge in mental health disorders and increased need for specialized treatment centers. Thus, the demand for mental hospitals kept growing, even as institutions adhering to the Kirkbride plan afforded only slow and costly construction. Concern intensified in the field as psychiatrists and medical professionals began to question the theory that architecture played a role in mental health. And so, the prestigious Hanwell Mental Institute sought to adapt, as did many other mental hospitals, by undergoing extensive remodeling, according to a new design philosophy that came to be known as the unit system. Instead of a single sprawling building, the various departments in such establishments would be separated into smaller, discrete structures. With this new approach, a purely administrative building would have no physical connection to one housing patients. To achieve this ambitious goal, many existing Kirkbride institutions resorted to constructing utilitarian underground tunnels connecting various buildings, since aesthetics were no longer a concern. So are you saying that the Hanwell, this tunnel leads to another institute maybe? Another building? An opening in the construction area was boarded up. Huh. Okay. So the power is on. What did we gain here, really? I mean, we gained that paper. Oh. How are we seeing this? Look, there's Lenny. But now it's boarded up. For the first time, I felt like there was a clear purpose or meaning behind a vision. My mind was trying to unearth an important memory. What were the group of patients doing in the basement? What were we forced to do here? The tools seemed oddly familiar to me. You probably did stuff. A feeling of unease came over me as I looked at these wooden boards. There was no way I could remove any of these boards with my bare hands. Okay, so... What was the meaning behind this illegal construction down below in the basement? If we ask Lenny about this, I'm gonna lose my mind, because that's what I wanted to do earlier when we found the note about it in the boiler. Oh! 11 o'clock p.m. Let's keep going to midnight, and then we'll end the video. So, yeah, I got an achievement. Spent 3 hours in the asylum. Although Lenny, I mean, now that an hour has passed, Lenny might be totally done. You know. See if the lights are on, if there's anything else that we can... Nope. Okay. Yeah, we'll go up. My journal's been updated. He's gone. Okay. Well, that's fine. Oh! A sad and naked plant, which might have been gorgeous and colorful once, decorated the center of the gallery. The perfect metaphor for Hanwell Mental Institute. What's with all these? Yeah, once again, Senscape/nucleosis. Look at this. Look at all these paintings. I don't recall if patients were allowed inside the gallery, but with these sorts of paintings, I hope not. Wait, hang on a second. Sorry. Very judgmental, you know? Dr. Ellis Hawthorne, psychiatrist. All right, he's not James Bond. Over here. Oh, is that Dr. Ann Eberspacher, psychologist? Chilling. Is it? What's chilling about it? Oh, sorry. I right-clicked. That's just a doodle. Look over there. There's some doodles. What a great painting to hang in a mental institute. Look at that thing. It's obscene. This is a family establishment. Okay. Well, I mean, can I go outside? I didn't recall where this door led, but it was jammed beyond hope. Beyond hope. That's a unique phrase I've only ever heard in scratches. For opening something, I mean, for something not like being jammed. Okay, so this opens to the courtyard? I know we're supposed to go to the therapy room, but... The stench of the clothes was quite unbearable, and I didn't think even a good wash could fix that. In later years, dissatisfied employees at Hanwell Mental Institute began to circulate wild stories about mistreatment on the part of the executive staff. At the time, authorities ascribed the rumors to the general atmosphere of discontent at the institute, as it was a matter of public knowledge by then that the erstwhile international prestige of the establishment had faded. Its glory days long gone. The building was in an appalling state of disarray, displaying an evident lack of direction and maintenance. The situation became more serious when family members of patients began reporting an alarming number of injuries to the bodies of their loved ones. These ranged from severe bruises to burn marks and, in the more extreme cases, fractures. Initially, the injuries were thought to result from unfortunate accidents related to the known issues besetting the mental hospital, including underfunding, understaffing, and growing workplace animosity. Those are known issues. Workplace animosity at the mental health institution was a known issue to the public. I'm unaware of any workplace animosities pretty much anywhere at any company. It's not like I'm like, oh, there's a notorious ad agency downtown where the creative director and the account director just keep butting heads. All right, well. Eventually, however, burgeoning pressure from the public eye and human rights organizations prompted authorities to initiate a series of investigations into the establishment for the insane. Interviews with institute staff ensued. Testimonies from low-ranking workers and nurses, including descriptions of anguished shrieks echoing through the hallways, their precise sources difficult to locate. In one of the more sinister accounts, an anonymous report suggested the screaming was coming from underground. Other stories mentioned the disappearance of a certain number of patients, a phenomenon that often happened during the night. But the most chilling rumor of them all was that the patients were being deliberately subjected to various forms of torture. When questioned about these scandalous allegations, Dr. Ellis Hawthorne dismissed them as the gossip of employees not fit for their jobs. He argued on record that the distressing screams originated from the high-risk section, in which dangerous patients with a history of violence would regularly experience a psychotic fit. As for patients disappearing from their cells, he stated that it was common for them to get lost in the monumental building, with hours sometimes passing by before they were found. This place isn't that big. Yet another reason why the upgrade to the unit system layout was the top priority of the administration, Hawthorne added. During this period of upheaval, Dr. Hanwell himself opted for a perplexing silence, never publicly commenting on the situation. With circumstances spiraling out of control, authorities continued to closely follow the events transpiring at Hanwell Mental Institute. Yeah? Well, what are you doing? What have you been doing? It's been years of this, and this place is still apparently operational. Clothes stained with the broadest variety of fluids you could imagine, with sources ranging from food to synthetic materials and bodily fluids. I didn't get to read the rest of that. Had paraded through these washing machines. Paraded. Sounds like they're celebrating. The courtyard, the majestic yard in which so many patients communed and healed together, was now in a sorry state, barely serving as a mere shortcut across the building. Okay, that sounds good. Ah, what's this, chicken coop? The shed appeared to be locked. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, fireflies. Lightning bugs. A once beautiful feature of the yard, the fountain was now filthy and in shambles. Very nice. Can I go that way? We can sit on... I remembered spending some time sitting here. It was a nice spot. Yeah, okay. What is that? DeForso. 1874? I'd love to read that up close if you'd allow me near it. I could still remember the soothing sound of the water flowing. Part of me wished to see the fountain working again. Can I open this from the side? Ah! A sturdy metal wire prevented me from opening this door. The worn out tool fell apart when I used it for the second time. No! What if I don't... I used it for a shortcut. I wonder if it was optional. Oh no. Doesn't seem like that kind of game though. Could almost hear the sound of the birds fluttering in the early morning. What is that up there? That's weird. Oh, I guess it's one of those things, like an exhaust pipe. Well, okay. Let's go to the therapy room or whatever. The sink had long since outlived its usefulness. Okay. How's that leaking? No, seriously, how is that leaking? There's no pipes going into it. There should be no water flowing into it. There's pipes leading out of it. All right, well, we won't examine this video game that closely, I think. I am really impressed by the environments overall, though, especially when you consider that they were, like, developing this in the early 2010s. Which you can, you know, no disrespect intended, but you can tell. I finally found myself inside the therapy room. The whole place was in a state of disarray, as if everyone had left in a hurry. Okay, so the therapy room. Yeah, let's go back inside. I was just seeing where that door went. Or if it was jammed or what.
Since the renovation of the Institute began, more patients have become agitated and difficult to manage.
Agitated?
As if it was the architecture of their own bodies being reconfigured. The construction work has disturbed their existence in a way I couldn't predict. Some are even presenting with odd injuries, which none of the nurses can explain. Are the patients harming themselves? Is this building so firmly interrelated with their identities that changes in its structure will impact their states of mind by means of a kinesthetic regression? They rationalize structural changings in the surrounding geometry by imprinting them in their own flesh. Hodgson's is the worst example. Where are those burn marks coming from? I made inquiries and nobody saw him get burnt. Perhaps he was allowed to assist in the kitchen and he refuses to discuss the burnings. And knowing how much the subject terrifies him, I did not press him further. But the scars are disturbing other patients in Group E. They believe his scorched skin is some kind of heavenly punishment or stigmata. And they're all going to suffer the same fate. This is ridiculous and degrading. They were my best group, my most remarkable achievement. Yet no one gives a damn. I swallowed my pride and consulted directly with Alice. But the pompous asshole suggested it was my inexperience at fault, my responsibility to ensure the safety of patients. So what the hell are you supposed to do then? Instead of hiding in your office, do something about your staff. And when the moron isn't jerking off at his desk, he supervises the construction work. Why is a psychiatrist so deeply involved with the conversion to the unit system? None of this makes sense. I hate myself for losing my mind. Every therapy session is now a burden. I need to reconnect with the patients. They must tell me more. Lenny is still more forthcoming than the rest, but he won't say a word about the bruises. And Hodgson's, how did you burn yourself like that? If not the kitchen, the only other place. No. Impossible. They're not allowed down there.
Right, so I mean, I think the injuries and stuff, you know, it's from, was Hawthorne making them dig down there and work in the place down below, right? But I do like the idea that she starts off with of like changes to the structure of the asylum are somehow harming the patient's bodies, like they're connected. That's an interesting idea. I don't think that unfortunately is what's going on though. Oh. There's what, Rebecca, the pregnant one? In my son Vision, I was part of a group of patients in the therapy room. A female doctor seemed to care about the session. Not us, but merely the outcome of the session. You know, I understand that they're trying to paint Ebersbacher as like this awful, you know, villain almost. Well, all of them, right? Hawthorne as well. But, you know, she's cold. She doesn't care about us. But, like, isn't it good if... I mean, I'm not saying... obviously, it's preferable if she actually cares one-on-one and in a human level about every person. But if she's results-oriented, to put it in professional terms, isn't that a good thing in this case? Like, in this case in particular. So many names. No wonder Hanwell Mental Institute had been renowned. This place was highly active back in its heyday. I mean, don't get me wrong, I read her journal where she called Rebecca the woman who was pregnant and had been, you know, sexually assaulted. When she called her, you know, I don't know, a whiner or whatever she called her. I can't remember. She was very unsympathetic, and that's not cool. But in terms of the work, you know, if you're results oriented, if you're wanting a positive outcome for the sessions and stuff, isn't that going to make you good at your job? On paper, at least. I don't know. Group therapy responses. Okay. What is this? E and F. Alertness, attention, attitude, expressivity, interest in topics, judgment, knowledge, memory, sense of humor, comprehension. So there's 2 here. Oh, that's patient group E and patient group F. Patients in group F show a marked improvement in their mood and awareness, as well as willingness to communicate and interact with their peers. The inexplicable regression in group E continues to puzzle me. I'll discuss their individual issues separately. Lenny used to be a kind of leader figure, very communicative, someone the rest of the group looked up to, but he's been more withdrawn recently, lost in what seemed like dark thoughts he refuses to share. In the case of Hodgson, I could guarantee a smooth session, provided nobody brought up anything related to the nature of his trauma, but he's growing increasingly tense and neurotic. Crawford has always been troublesome, but he seems more on edge than usual, and even more of a problem these days. Rebecca should have been allowed an abortion. That's all you gotta say about Rebecca, huh? LaRock, beginning to believe he's a lost cause. So wait, which one am I? So Group E is down from Group F in every category, and it's not close. Sense of humor 4. Okay, so the people in Group E are changing. They're becoming injured. They're losing their sense of humor. They're losing their alertness, their attitude, you know. Nothing but still darkness outside, which only made me feel more apprehensive. Bertrand LaRock. Okay. He's a curious case. He is a shy, docile patient with a mind seemingly trapped in his innermost recondite thoughts. What a word. Coming from a family of French immigrants and having experienced a troubled childhood afflicted by war, LaRock has always had issues making friends, no doubt in part thanks to his monotone, outlandish manner of speech. His verbal expression often devolves into unintelligible murmurs during otherwise plain and straightforward conversations. The current diagnosis is that this is assumed to be a schizophrenic behavior. Is this us? What's our name? That being said, once someone earns his trust, LaRock can become a capable and pleasant conversationalist. Yet recently, the patient seems less keen on communicating, often spending an unusual amount of time simply staring out of the windows in the game room. Specialists feel he will succumb to an irreversible state of catatonia. Huh. Nothing of note. Oh, we need to find like a reel of some kind. Okay. And then we can watch on the projector. Okay. Got it. Well, yeah, let's keep going this way then. The fence had come loose from the window, which I trusted would be fixed for the reopening. There's not gonna be a reopening. Are you serious? There's no reopening. Okay, so we've got the game room, the library, and then we can come back around. Okay. This is the game room. Used to burst with activity in its heyday, it was a fine accomplishment of the Institute that patients could coexist peacefully, playing games together. But now the room was in shambles. The sofa might have been comfortable once, but at present, sitting here was out of the question. Okay. I don't ever recall hearing the alarm sound in the game room, which spoke volumes about the friendly and soothing nature of this place. Yes, I'm feeling very soothed right now. More chairs. The game room had been designed to hold a large number of patients in it. Okay. Crayons. Box of crayons. The nurses had always encouraged us to draw. A red crayon was in better shape than the others, so I took it with me. Really? Why? Oh, just an old toy. Interesting. There's a nail jammed into where the missing foot was. Some of the drawings by the other patients could sometimes get a little scary. Well, okay. Can I look at it? It was quite an inspired piece of art, in my opinion. Looks like a coloring book page. Okay. What a mess. What happened in this place? Ominous, but with a hint of beauty. It's a building, bro. The fireplace was a nice way to get the room warm back then, but the staff needed to keep a close eye on the more unruly patients. The fireplace was a nice way to get the room warm. That is what a fireplace is for. I had no idea what that was. It's a toy. It's whack-a-mole or something. Are you kidding me? I believe this was the table patients chose for playing games when it was cold because of its privileged position near the fireplace. Ah, the fireplace whose purpose it is to make the room warm. I'm very familiar. Back in the days, it was nice to sit in this cozy sofa by the fireplace. Yeah, you're really into this fireplace, huh? Oh. Excuse me. Let me see. Can I go over this way? A completely dried plant. So radio? The radio's batteries were dead. Okay, if we find batteries somewhere, we can put them there. There's Dick Ballard Lagoon Vonnegut, a fine selection indeed. Okay, so Kurt Vonnegut, I'm familiar with that. A wide variety of classic science fiction novels. Patients were lucky to have access to fine literature in the Institute. Okay, well, who's Dick? The chairs have been positioned as if to look at some enchanting view outside the window, but it was currently dark and ominous outside. Okay. I guess we're done with the game room. I don't know. Okay, we're in the library. The latter provided quick access to the most neglected volumes on the top shelves. I do know what a ladder is. I'd have enjoyed spending time reading some of these books, but there were more important things to do that night. Oh, are we talking about in the past or pharmacology? So if I need to find a book on a specific topic, I guess that's what we'll come back here for. Like in terms of the gameplay, obviously. Oh. Some days ago, I casually read a newspaper article about Dr. Walter Hanwell, a general surgeon with extensive knowledge of mental illness, who recently founded his own hospital for the insane. In his impassioned words, I could sense a sincere concern about the consequences of mind disorders. In that same article, Hanwell's notable technological advancements in his field, a discipline in which antiquated practices are often ingrained, elicited a feeling of excitement that I hadn't experienced in a long time. The fine trajectory of this kindred spirit compelled me to write him a letter, disenchanted as I was about ongoing problems in my local medical center, which I concluded was managed by closed-minded individuals. Dr. Hanwell responded sooner than I expected. We exchanged various experiences from our respective fields of expertise, in an engaging debate that I fondly remember as a deciding factor that would dictate the rest of my career. We agreed that increasing reports of developing mental abnormalities were a consequence of a degenerate society. That minds operating outside the boundaries of morality would inevitably deteriorate until no shade of humanity was left. What does that mean? There was a mutual agreement that the fabric of our culture, our breed, was eroding. As admired professionals, we have an obligation to guide our peers into the blistering light of cognizance. We see and perceive what others don't. Not taking action would be a shameful disgrace to our human condition. This sounds like, yeah. We continued talking about how a mental hospital should be managed under the strictest of conditions, and how a symbol of solemn authority was of the utmost importance for ensuring smooth operations. Suffice it to say, I became enchanted with Walter Hanwell's grand vision, his endless quest to correct the course of society, beginning with those who had lost their way in the most profound and visceral sense, the decay of their own minds. It's sounding a little too much like some Nazi shit. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that it is, but it's just kind of sounding like it. The fabric of our society is crumbling. Degenerates. Another collection of books unrelated to my search. Alright, anyway. Okay. An old, unpublished manual about some kind of biopsy machine. Do you guys really want me to read this? Okay. Let's see. Turn on the equipment using the control panel. Rotate the principal knob to the appropriate unit that corresponds to the patient's cranial dimensions. This will set the target coordinates. Well, that's really easy. So it's stereotactic orbital brain biopsy equipment. This equipment is still undergoing extensive tests. Any use of this machine on a living person must be supervised by a qualified professional. Extracting brain tissue without performing a craniotomy. Oh, it's like in Severance. Oh, the person assisting the professional should evaluate whether everything is in the correct position, particularly the harness. It is recommended to also check the position of the extractor needle and the bed. The supervising professional at the control panel may pick up the wired activator and press the button to set the procedure in motion. Wait until the extractor needle finalizes the procedure and is fully removed from the patient's orbital. If blood leaks through the puncture, wipe it with a disinfected towel. I always think of a bath towel or something, like some huge towel. There is no need to treat the puncture. Really? That's odd. Once the machine completes the procedure, the fluid containing the sample will be located in a sterilized receptacle behind the extractor component. It then can be taken in with a standard syringe, but be sure to properly sterilize the syringe so as not to contaminate the sample. Inspect the patient's orbital for any unexpected damage. I guess there will be some expected damage, right? Then have the patient remain seated on the bed to recover from any dizziness. The brain sample is ready to be examined under a microscope by a qualified pathologist. The procedure is expected to last 5 to 10 seconds, depending on the lobe from which the sample will be extracted. Sulcal depth must be accounted for in this calculation. Following the procedure, the patient may experience impaired vision, difficulty articulating facial muscles, but these effects are expected to subside within an hour. Oh my gosh. Look at all these biopsies. Rat tissue, right. Okay, fascinating. Well, that updated our record book. Barker, Ligotti, Lovecraft? Didn't seem like appropriate literature for mental patients. Yeah, can you imagine patients here reading H.P. Lovecraft? Oh boy. probably not good for many of them to start questioning their reality and whether or not they can truly perceive what's actually going on. Okay. A random collection of books. Nothing that seemed important for my search. I'll be honest, I'm not super sure what you're searching for here. Oh boy, okay. Nursing, huh? Okay, I guess we're done here. I was not interested in going there. I wouldn't even be able to distinguish the titles because of the lack of lighting. Oh. An excuse to spend some time reading alone. That's like... That's a very bad faith way of describing a desk. Okay, I made it through. Cool, so we've been everywhere. We haven't been to the... Well... Nah, the switch was useless. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we've been everywhere. We're looking for like a wheel of film for the therapy room though. Hello, Julia.
Oh, one more thing, Julia.
Uh-huh. Look at this crayon I found.
Look at this. I found an old crayon.
Wow.
Oh, I like drawing. Do you?
I'm not sure. I don't recall ever attempting to draw anything. But it does look like a nice remembrance from past days.
It's just a crayon.
Yes, but even a small crayon can convey a sense of belonging.
What? I really wanted her to be like, what are you bothering me about a crayon for? I got stuff to do. Okay, speak with Lenny.
I need to speak with Lenny.
You mean the patient?
Of course, yes, Leonard.
Is he a patient of yours?
Well...
In any case, I don't know his whereabouts. Sorry. Leonard can be somewhat unpredictable. Just go look around.
Okay. So that's very unhelpful. Visit the upper floors.
So there might be some information I can recover on the second floor.
What is that
I told you to
accent?
stay away from the upper floors.
That's right. My bad.
Don't make me call Bruno.
No, I'm shaking in my boots. Is the voice actor Australian? I have to hear more from them. Okay, do we not really get much else?
Finally found the therapy room.
Excellent. Good luck.
Oh, okay. What about my condition, though?
This topic is giving me a headache.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I'm done for now.
Don't think that that's particularly helpful for me. I guess we gotta find Lenny, right? Who knows where he could be? We haven't been here in a long time. Somehow I don't think he's gonna be around here. Wait. Oh. Oh, right. Why would he be in here? You know? Okay. Where is Lenny? I mean, is that who I'm looking for right now? He does like Dr. Ann, right? So he might be in her office? That's the best I got. I'll look here just on the off chance. No. I mean, okay. Cafeteria, maybe? See, okay, we've been everywhere else here. Maybe we can ask Bruno. You can kind of spam click through these, which is nice. Okay, sorry. At the very least, I could ask Bruno. I believe should be in here by now. Oh, weird. Bruno was nowhere to be seen, and I needed access to more places, so I took his keys with me, and I wasn't proud of it. Okay. No, I really needed the keys. There was always the risk of bumping into Bruno somewhere upstairs, but time was running out. Okay, but like, where does the keyring go? Bruno had better not see me holding this keyring. He had a bad temper. Okay, yeah, but like, what did the keys open? It was a relief that at least something in this place had actually worked properly, and the cells were locked. Firmly locked. Don't bother him. Oh. Okay. Maybe we don't do that. The door wouldn't open. What's with the red mist here? No one seemed to be inside. That's good. My heart stopped for a second as I moved to open the door, but luckily it didn't budge. Well, why'd you open the door? Just tightly shut. Oh. The window is broken and a thick veil of darkness hung over the cell. Probably abandoned. Well, let's hope. The cell was either locked or jammed. Most of the cells in the tunnel of the dam seemed to be abandoned. The doors wouldn't open. Okay. Firmly locked, which didn't surprise me. Okay. What about this? Wait, what? What? Are you serious? Wait, that's the door that Bruno was like, arg, electric shock. I thought it was this one. Oh. Huh. Hopeless. The door was firmly shut in place. Okay. So what can the keyring do for me? Nothing here, I guess. This is the furnace. Was there a... Wait, was there like a door? Oh, you know, we could open Dr. Hawthorne's office. Let's go try to do that, actually. Because I don't know what doors the keyring opens. Firmly shut. Everything opened over there, I think, right? Let's go. Yeah, no, let's go. Because that's the one door that I remember being shut. Okay, we're in the library again, just checking. I don't know if I checked over here or not. Huh. What a great painting. These paintings show such like strife, you know. You know, I've got the music on volume 100. That's the part of this that's kind of shocking to me. So I can't open that, huh? Bruno, I better not see me holding this key ring. So I can't open that? That was kind of like the main idea that I had, was to open this. Huh. What if we ask Julia? Julia, where do these keys go? What's she gonna do? Take them from me?
Sorry to bother you again, Julia. So I got this key ring.
Doesn't that belong to Bruno?
Maybe.
Please make sure to return that at once.
Damn, I was hoping you could tell me what it goes
That's
to.
all for now. I'll be back.
Huh. Okay. Oh, oops. Go back. No idea where Leonard is. I seem to have no idea where Leonard or Bruno are, actually. I've been to all the rooms that I can go to that I know of, and they're not around. I need to find a reel for the therapy room. I don't know, maybe I need to go back there, maybe I missed something. But I'll be back in just a moment. Boo! So, hi. I'm ending the video there because, as it turned out, getting to midnight took a lot longer than I thought. So I'm saving that for part 2, and we'll just awkwardly start off the next video with me acting like I'm coming back from a break. So that's the best solution I could come up with. Hope you're enjoying Asylum, and I'll see you in the next video. Think critically.